got all this art. So I do have an Instagram page, and it's getting there. It's pretty popular, and I have a lot of original art, so that's a good forum for it.
And this TikTok is a perfect platform for your book.
Oh yeah.
And you don't have to do long videos to get their attention, but I think that there's an audience there for you.
Okay.
And you should look into that. And more than Instagram or Facebook, TikTok now is, I mean, you see all the celebrities all over it. Celebrities don't get all over something unless there's an audience that's big. So, and I'm there. And I'm there. So, and I'm doing very well.
Okay.
I would do better if I would do more lives. But since they don't pay Canadians, I'm more just interested in them just promoting Pronoun TV and making that something that sticks in all of our community and other communities' mind. So it's working perfectly for me in that sense. It's sort of branding me. So I'm not really worried about being paid right now. I'll get paid down the road. You understand, Carmen?
I got it. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. See, this is part of the learning curve. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all for checking it out. Thank you.
So now, what's your second book about?
The second book is I mean, it's very hard to do a summary. A lot of these stories are very intensive threads where different characters are in different parts of the world and are following different narratives, but eventually they come together. So it's very hard to summarize, but it's a continuation of a number of the ideas and themes at a different timeline that occur in the first book. They're all going to be like beads on a chain. They're all part of the same big narrative, which is the planet and how things evolve on it over a long period of time. But it's very hard to summarize at this point. That'll come.
Okay, so are these comic looking characters or real life characters?
Well, they're meant to be perceived as real, viable, actual beings on another world, in another universe. They're very much meant to, very much when you read, I'd like to think, and my feedback thus far is not saying no to this, that you get into it and it feels like a real place. It's a different place and there's different things, but it's.
Okay, now she wrote here for me to ask, why is it so important to read? Why is it so important to read?
That's a wonderful question. As somebody who grew up in a household full of books and has had them all my life, it's just a treasure, a treasure which, whatever form it comes in, opens up worlds, opens up other people's minds. If you want to step into England a century ago or ancient Rome and see what people thought, you can do that. You can open up this thing and you're in somebody else's head. And so it's a way of connecting, as I say, sometimes with people who are long gone from worlds that don't exist anymore, and yet there you are, they're speaking to you. And that's just a marvelous treasure, and we would be much the poorer if we didn't have that.
Mm-hmm. Now, Carmen, when Lynn's sitting around, you guys are having a drink, hanging out in the kitchen, eating and talking, and he starts rambling on about this book and this idea that he has for this book. What do you think? Do you think
I think that it sounds wonderful, and also I wish I had enough discipline to write a whole series myself. To be honest, that's what I think. I think that I'm most in awe of the discipline that it takes for Lynn to write all of this, because like I am Lynn's friend, but I'm also Lynn's job. So so the thing that she's getting paid to do, at least right now, is be here with me. She's not getting paid except with people buying her book to write the book. She created a job for herself, and then she did the job. I do not have that much discipline. So honestly, that's what I think about the most. And I know that once I get going on reading the book, that one of the things, and obviously not everyone is going to have this luxury, one of the things that is going to be fun for me
Yeah.
is to be able to ask Gwen questions as I go, because I'm going to have like,
What does that mean?
which is what's going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen.
That's fine.
So yeah,
So you are, Carmen, you are heterosexual.
I don't know.
Oh.
We'll go with that for now. But I am
Okay.
cisgender. I can tell you that much. But that's about as much as I'm sure of.
Oh, okay. Okay. So now just we're gonna wrap it up here shortly. I think we gave you I think we dug in there a little bit, don't you think, Elaine?
I'm delighted. I think this is
Okay.
this has been
Now,
a treat.
and you know, I have just a couple of more questions for you guys, and then we'll close it off. Now, Lynn, you're 65 years old.
Go figure.
Okay. Now, how do you see, what do you see for the next 10 years? What is it that you want to do? And what is it that you want these books to do?
Well, you know, it's very interesting. While my knees are starting to give me trouble, I actually feel like I'm at the top of my game. I feel like I have more as far as creative ability and facility. I can just sit down and write a chapter in a couple hours. I really have a very solid, I mean, for so long when I was a kid, I had this presence inside me and I couldn't define it, and I had no focus and direction, and I've got that now. I am focused, I am directed, I have clarity, I have a trajectory. And so what I see doing is full throttle working on this series because this has been something, as I say, that's been brewing inside me for decades. And, you know, I don't know what I'll do next, but I think that my commitment to the planet Anu and to this world is going to probably go after these novels. And who knows, I may fit in one or two more in between. We'll see. It does take a long time. It's worth it.
But you know, we have so much social media outlets now with different channels, from Netflix to Hulu and Roku and this and that and this and that. And do you see your books as a movie one day?
That would be an interesting exercise. I'm not going to say no to anything. I mean, talking about audiobooks, boy, I looked into it and bloody hell, does that cost a lot. And I've had people talk about whether I should do translations in other languages. That also costs a whole lot. I'm going to remain open. It has been suggested that there could be a film adaptation, just this first film, the first book. Getting ahead of myself. We shall see. I am very open. If that works out, of course, it'll reach a bigger audience. And as long as it tries to stay fairly close to the core themes that are going to run through the film of the book. Geez, you put this in my head now.
Well, you know, the good thing about all that is that because you are the author of the book and the writer and all of that, and you control that aspect of it, you should probably write a screenplay. And then that way, that could help you down the road. I'm just saying.
Oh, hey.
Because I actually wrote 3 books, and that I didn't publish any of them. I have them in the drawer in there. And my lawyer, she says, wait until you get on TV, get what you want, and then we're gonna put all of this together.
You heard it first, folks.
Yeah,
so that's awesome.
So I turned 60 in June.
Wow.
And so I will be the oldest person ever on this show, if I get on this show. And it will be an amazing 10 years if my retirement could be very good, if you know what I mean. I could live in Florida very well, but we'll see how it all turns out. Now, I want to say this. I would suggest that you get on TikTok, do just a couple of little reads or do a little talking and create yourself a little window there.
All right. Check it out.
Or just in general, you and Lynn sitting around the house having a cup of coffee, because you can, after you get 1,000 viewers on TikTok, you can go live, and you can always just be sitting in the living room talking about this and that, and that will help create an audience for you, and then you could throw your book. You know how it goes. So I'm just throwing it out there, because I think that the fact that you have something in print says something more than a lot of other people. Even like me, I wrote the book, I never did anything with it, but now that my agent and my lawyer, they looked through all the stuff I had, they said, this could be a movie. This could be a movie. So I'm not looking at that right now. Right now, I want to get on television, and that is the first step. Then Pronoun TV can be produced. You know how it goes. So in the next 10 years, I have a big plan. But I want to just say it was great meeting you two, Carmen Sutherland and Lynn McGinnis. I can't remember the name of the book. Can you remind us what the name of it is?
Heshevira's Challenge. You do it.
Where can we
find it?
And where can we find it?
Oh, it's on Amazon or Barnes and Noble. It's on anywhere you get an ebook. If you just type in that title and in Google, you'll find it. You'll find all sorts of links. There's already a lot of them on there. So, because there's a website too, there's a Facebook page too. There's a big website, which is all the glossary and terms. It's a big resource too.
So if we type in Lynn McGinnis, all of this will come up.
That will, yes, do that too, and you'll find that'll get you there too. Yep.
Okay. Thank you, Carmen, for joining the conversation. It was wonderful talking to you. And I want to thank you, Lynn. I'm just going to say in closing before we go, I just want to say to our audience today, if you live in a world of fantasy and you've had lots of time to sit around your apartments and your homes and think about all these things now, like we all have, because this pandemic has kept us all in the house. So start living your fantasy on paper. Write it down. Do something. Document your life, because you're important. You're human beings. You're here for a reason. Document your life. Live out your fantasies. And you know what? At the end of the day, just stay safe and try to help your neighbors, your friends. Just do what Lynn is doing. Writing everything down. It's all about teaching and educating others. We need to get to know each other and understand each other, and mainly from the LGBT two-spirit pronoun community, and whatever pronoun you identify as, we want to know that you are not alone. There's a lot of people out there like us that are productive, that want families, that have productive lives and contribute to every day just being part of this planet. And once we understand that we're all here for the same reason, love, understanding, family, friends, and the fact that, you have the choice to make a difference. And that's what we're here for, is to make a difference in our lives and in your lives. And hopefully somewhere along the line, we can educate and inspire others to be fabulous. And that's it. And I would say, in Lynn's words, live in that world of fantasy. If you can't live in reality, live in that world of fantasy. Just have a good time. Thank you guys so much for joining me here on Pronoun TV and the Stephanie Stevens Show. And I'm trying not to be silly, because sometimes she says that I'm very silly. But okay, so thank you guys so much for tuning in to Pronoun TV and the Stephanie Stevens Show. I want to thank Lynn McGinnis and Carmen Sutherland for joining this conversation today. We talked about his books, the importance of reading, and you guys have a blessed and safe week. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.